Well, hello there, and here's our Yukon, Frankia Yucon, and we've now had 4 trips with the van since we got it. We've been to the North Yorkshire and the coast, we've been to the Malverns and the Cotswolds, and the Yorkshire Dales, and recently we had 3 weeks touring the Scottish East Coast from Edinburgh all the way up to Thurso and back through the Cairngorms and back home. So we've done 2,500 miles in that period of time. I think it's time to show you the van and the good things and the bad things about it. So anyhow, here it is. It's known as a Frankia Yucon. We got it from SMC Motorhomes in Newark. It's 180 bhp. And it's the usual Fiat Ducato base. If we come down this side, you see that it's got the usual step, electric step. And here we got the water inlet, like you have everywhere. Back of the van, we'll show you inside later. It has got a Thule cycle rack. Came with that. It was an unusual story that we were after a Globe car, but it took so long to arrive, and we were told it was going to be delayed another 3 months. So we popped into SMC and wanted to have a look to see what the alternatives were. And sad for them, but good for us, was that there was a gentleman who had bought this but had to drop out at the very last minute, and he had a few extra things put on. He put an extra battery in, etc, etc, including this cycle rack. We've not used it, and it's a bit of a pain because this bit here, when you open the door, you bang your head on it on a regular basis. So you've got to learn to duck. It'll probably happen eventually. Anyhow, we come around to this side, and there's the electric hookup. Same for everyone. This is the gas LGB, not RGB, or whatever it is, the gas inlet goes in there. Moving around a little bit, there's the toilet, no different than everyone's. We've got the Truma hot boiler outlet. The windows, oh hello there's me. The windows are inset, they're very nice windows. And you've got the usual down here, you've got the petrol gauge, and I can open it, and the AdBlue. Move around to the front. Okay, and it's got LED lights and various other things. I'm not into that sort of stuff, but it came with it. So let's have a little look inside then. Oh no, there's one thing I missed. Right, I don't know if you can see it. I'll crouch down here underneath there. And that is the outlet for the wastewater. You pull this trigger here and it empties the wastewater. I've got to say that is a bit of a pain, because you always have to, A, you have to bend down to pull it out, and B, if you can't find a place that's got a motor caravan wastewater outlet, then it's quite difficult to empty it. That's one definitely big negative on it. Okay, so let's have a look in the van. Oh, it'd help if I unlocked it, wouldn't it? There we go. Right, so here we go. Right, so they've got the electric step here. Let's see, there we go. It's the same with most vans, isn't it? As you come into the van, you can see that it's a Fiat Ducato I think most people recognise the basics of this. One thing I do like is instead of having the cup holder, we've got that, which is very useful for putting all we stick all our electrics in there, all our 3-point pins and USBs and etc, etc. That's very useful. The thing is Pioneer, and I've got to say I'm not impressed with it. We tried to connect it with his iPhone through AirPlay, or whatever the iPhone call it, and it's useless. So I would be very much against buying another one of these if it came with this. So that's definitely a negative. Storage down here. It's quite a bit of storage, which we use as storage here, which is quite helpful. Storage there, and this I like. Pops up. Again, press the button. There we go. And you put your iPad or phone or whatever. So we use that probably much more than we use the Pioneer. Put the phone on there and use Waze. Right, that's probably the most of the frontage. Right, we'll have a little look at it here. There's a cupboard space up there, which we tend to put all the first aid stuff and things for like bite, ointment, etc. On the other side we keep our tablets, anything that we use as tablets, headache tablets, daily tablets, and anything else, plasters, anything else that might be useful. Moving back here, it hasn't got the glass roof like a Globe car had. Instead you've got this sloping roof. I think it's a bit of a waste. I can understand it's there so that you can stand up and not hit your head. I think I would have preferred a slightly lower one and a bit of storage up there, but everyone to their own thing. The up there you've got the whatever. I don't forget off of these things. Anyway, that's there. Right, so down this side we've got a cupboard here. We've got our 5G Wi-Fi. That's superb, that. That was one of the better things that was put in the van. Doesn't matter where we are, we get really good reception. So that cupboard there, that's where we put our plates and cups and various bits and pieces in there. There's a outlet there, so you can see it for a TV. Oh no, that's, sorry, I beg your pardon, that's the outlet for the 5G. So that's the roof antennae for the 5G. Okay. Across here you've got the TV bracket. We usually we've got a little Avtex 19-inch TV, which we put into that. This is a bit of a bugbear. This is a cigarette lighter adapter for your TV. Unfortunately, it's German and it won't fit your normal British one, so I had to get an adapter, a German adapter, to fit in there, and that cost us about 20 quid. In here you can shove away all the wires going from the TV, so that's not bad. Moving back a bit, this is our lounge area. You've got the chair, 2 safety belts in case you want passengers. We never have passengers, however we do utilise that for the dogs, and we have the dogs attached to these two. We put a blanket on there. If you're wondering what that is, that's the table bit that goes under here. but we never have I want to eat off the two captain's chairs. We always have one eating on the captain's chair and one eating on the table here, so this is a bit of a waste, and it's also bleeding heavy as well, so we just use this table. This table comes off, the leg pulls out, and again the problem is no storage. Again, I'm not so keen on that. We have to store it on the bed, which again is a bit of a pain in the backside. I'd much rather have one that attached to this here and then folded down underneath, and so you could store it away when you're traveling and you just happen to pull it up. I know a lot of vans do that, and I would certainly like that on this one if I had the choice. Okay, so swivel round, and we got the cooking area here. Okay, so if we lift that up here, click that up. Okay, so we've got a 2-burner ring, which is adequate for us, but the problem we got is if you've got a pan on there, there's hardly enough space to put a pan on that one. So you've either got to have a very small, like egg omelette type of pan on there, and a pan on there, or two very, very small pans. Again, fortunately to us, we rarely cook with more than one pan. But those people who like to cook a bit more, you would have problems with that. We've got a 3-pin plug there, which again, the van didn't come with anything. I mean, fancy having a cooking area without any 3-point pins. I suppose the German, because it's a German make, German thinks most people go off grid and don't want the electrics. Anyhow, we got that one fitted. Above here, we've got a cupboard. That's our doggy cupboard. That's where we put all the things in for the doggies. That takes up the whole cupboard. Now, this is the interesting bit about this. You think, well, where's the sink? Yeah, this is the clever bit. You grab hold of here and you pull out, and the sink is there. Okay, get hot and cold, and that opens up into an area here, which you can see. So you've got on here, you can put ketchups and various things like that on these two shelves, and you've got room on the bottom here, which is for silver foil, etc. These are a waste of time. Nothing fits in them. The only thing that fits in them are those little mini wine bottles, but they're so thin that they rattle on it, so we don't use it. It's really a bit of a waste. And that goes back there. That's quite clever. We use that for putting the towels on. And then we've got the cupboards here. Okay, so we've got a big cupboard there, which is store things. This is quite clever. At first when we bought it, we thought, ooh, I'm not sure about that, but this is actually very useful. We've got the bin. And it's tidy. It's tidy. As long as you empty it every day, there's just about enough space in there to do your sort of day-to-day, and it goes away and hides away. It's quite clever. And then on this side, you got some more. You got 3 more. You got one, which well, a lot of people would use that as a cutlery tray, but we don't. We put cutlery in little bags and put them in the next drawer down. This tends to be the drawer. We put all our plates in there, and our knives, forks, etc., etc., and they're in little bags. And that really then gives us the bottom one here for food. So as you can see, it's not got the biggest amount of cupboard space, but it does us. Moving a bit further forward, we've got a nice space, that cupboard space down here. If you look into it there, again, we use this for our pots, pans, the things that we use them for cooking. That all goes into that one there. Right, above it we've got a Thetford oven. There we go. It's an oven, it's not a grill. So it's fine if you want to do pies and things, but not if you want to do toast. And then above that you've got the fridge, the Dometic fridge, and it runs only off 12 volt. So again, it's really for people who want to be off grid more than anything else. So if you're the sort of person that uses sites, it's a bit of a waste because you having to use your own 12 volts. Having said that, on the roof we've got a 100-watt solar system, so that tends to help. It's not a bad fridge. It's a pretty good freezer. You can get quite a bit in there, and it's what I call a mid-size. There you go for your milk and your cheeses and things. Not bad. I've seen bigger, but it does us. Then we come to the shower. Now this is one that I'm really not that impressed with. Okay, you've got this sliding door, and then you come into here and you've got this ridiculous basin. Right, there we go. You probably see it. There's no lip here. So any water that pours onto here just drips down into there. So you ask, well, how do you get a bowl full of water? Well, the answer is you don't. What you've got to do is you've got to run the tap and just sort of wash your face as the water comes out, which is a hell of a bloody waste of water. And when you lift this up, even if you lift it up slowly, the water comes out here. So you've got to, we keep a little cloth here and we keep putting it in there to stop it from going on the toilet. So definitely a downer. I mean, I can't believe that they've not put some sort of lip there. So you've got a proper basin. So what we actually do is we've got a folding basin, which we put in here, and we fill the folding basin up and use that. Somewhat defeats the object to have this, I suppose. Up here then you've got, drop back a little bit there, you've got spaces there to put bits and pieces. You've got a nice little glass thing there. Hello again. And then here we go. There. That's not bad. That's across. We've got hanging towels, hanging towel rail, and the toilet is a pull-out one. So you pull it out there when you want to use it. It's a Thetford. One thing about this one is it's got a huge cassette. Our previous van had a much smaller Thetford cassette, which we had to change every 2 or 3 days, or empty every 2 or 3 days. Whereas this one here, 4 or 5 days. Having said that, as I said, we tend to go mainly on sites and use the toilet facilities for them. So this is only used for wees really, particularly for night time. But it's a very, very large cassette, and we get a lot of use out of it. It's 4 or 5 days worth. Anyhow, you push it back and put that lock in there when you're travelling. The shower, we've not used the shower yet. Is your typical shower there. It's hot and cold adjusted there. There is a skylight, which is helpful when you've got a shower, obviously to let the hot air condensation disappear. But I don't like this. If you get up in the middle of the night and want to go for a wee, you could open that, shut it, the racket it makes. So if you want to try and have a quiet pee and not wake up the missus, it's a non-starter. But I know most vans have got these as space savers. I much prefer a door, but everyone to their own. Anyhow, we move to the back of the van, and this is the bedding arrangement. So 3 steps there, or 2 steps there to get up. These are quite useful. You've got space in here. Again, we use that for the doggies. We put the doggies' bowls and various other bits and pieces in there. And likewise, there's space there. And again, we put the doggies' bowls in there, or at least other doggies' things in there. So that's basically used just for the doggies. And then we got the beds. On this one here, we have two, on either side we have two duvets, which John and myself sleep on. And the idea was supposed to be that the doggies would sleep on the middle one. We put like a little duvet down there. But it's got to say, the sleeping arrangements have not been very good. Unfortunately, one of the dogs tends to sleep there or there, which means that our feet are dangling off the bed here. And as you can see, because this doesn't come all the way out, our feet are dangling over here. I mean, if this had come out here like that and made a bed like that, then it would probably be a bit better. I know this is a common layout in a lot of vans, but I'm not impressed with it. I certainly wouldn't buy another one like this. This you see on the top here, including this wooden block here, and I'll take you back here, move to the front. Okay, this table here clips down on the two clips you can see down in the bottom, and then it's infilled with those cushions there, and the wooden block bits you can see there. Okay, if you move myself around to the front again, apparently fit in here. So you've got another single bed to make this a 3-person camper van. Got to say, I wouldn't like to live in a camper van with 3 people. I suppose if you've got some kids and you've got a relatively young kid, then I suppose it's not bad, especially if it's not bad weather and you can put an awning out. But again, wouldn't be my cup of tea. Right, okay, so storage is very good. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big cupboards, as you can see there. They go back quite a long way. We use those storage bags and put all our clothes in storage bags. So we stack up 1, 2, 3, 4 storage bags there, and keep our clothes, our socks, our shirts, our jumpers, our underwear. This is quite a nice shelf. Again, we use that for all. Jan uses that shelf for all her personal little bits and pieces, you know, cosmetics and other bits and pieces. Less so for me on here, on my side, because I sleep on this side. On my side, I've got the first aid kit and other bits and pieces in there. Again, you can see the cupboards, nice sized cupboards. There's a big one at the back. The big one at the back is not as deep, but it holds our spare towels, our doggies' towels, and our doggies' grooming. You're thinking, crikey, we do look after our doggies well. I think we just over fuss them, but it's the way you do with animals, I suppose. Well, we do anyway. Right, so we've got in here a wardrobe, which is no use in the ornament. You get perhaps 2 pairs of trousers in there if you're lucky, but yeah, I think we use it mainly for stocking other things. And if I can move across to this one here, this lifts up, and there's another cupboard into here. There we go. That's this now. This one is useful. We store lots of things in here. Only problem, of course, is you got to shut it, move that across. Remember, we've got a duvet on top of this as well, so it's got to all be moved before you can get into that. The worst of the lot is this one. I'll just move this lot out of the way for you. Alright, so I can just, oops a daisy, shift this lot out of the way. There we go, not easy with one hand. And under here, again, if I can lift this thing out of the way, we've got another cupboard. Oops, sorry about that. There we go, got another cupboard there. Again, it's supposed to be, I think, a wardrobe. Again, what a totally pointless thing. To get to it, you've got to dismantle the bedding system. This is not very good. So again, not impressed with that at all, but hey ho, some people might like the idea of it. We don't. Right, just put this lot back again. Mirror. And I think that's most of the things in the van. Okay, so if we wander out to the back of the van, I'll show you the back of the van. Okay, see what I mean about this? It comes out here and you've got to duck to avoid it. Okay, so the back of the van is good. You got, as you can see, you've got loads and loads of space in here for putting your things. You've got LPG, that was what I was trying to think of before when I couldn't remember. LPG gas. 2 bottles in there. We had problems with our old one of working out how full the gas bottles were. We were recommended to go to Brownhills and pick up one of these. Butane propane patio gas level indicator. It only costs about £4. And you stick them on, as you can see, on the bottom of the cylinder there, and it indicates the level of the gas in the cylinder. So that's useful. Only problem was, you can't get to the bottom of that one. You can't reach there, so you don't know how full that is. You might be able to see. No, you can't really reach it, so no, it's a bit of a waste of time. Anyhow, that's the LPG. On this side, there is another little cupboard. This is useful. You've got outdoor shower. That's the shower thing that fits into that, and that then gives you. If I move away, the shower. That's ooh, it's got water in there. So the last time we showered one of the doggies. Okay, that's quite good. So those two were quite good. However, the third one's not so good. I've got a squeeze in here, and there's another cupboard here, which if you open up, if you can actually see in there, you got the 2 batteries and the whatever that is at the back. I know nothing about electrical wiring. Anyhow, 2 batteries are quite useful. Bit of space at the side there, a lot of space at the top. But, and this is the big but, is that if you've got stuff stored in here, which we tend to do, we've got the awning, we've got chairs, tables, all sorts of bits and pieces in here, is you've got to take everything out to get to that cupboard. So what we stored in that cupboard were things that we didn't actually need on a regular basis. Only things that we might need as an emergency. So that's the cupboard. Right, I think just about everything we showed you, well, with the exception of the awning, which you can see up the top there. Full Omnister awning. And that's brilliant. Got to say, that's really useful. So what do we think? Well, we've had the van now for 4 months, and I got to say, if we bought again, we wouldn't buy this again. I don't like this layout. Some people do, we don't. And we're actually looking at perhaps changing and getting something that's a bit more useful for our lifestyle. But if anyone likes a put-up bed with a lounge area, cooking facilities, shower and a toilet, then this could be for you. Bit expensive though. There are a lot of models like this. This layout is quite a bit cheaper than this. Mind you, it is a German make, so the quality is pretty good. You've got this nice foam outing. I'm guessing that this insulation, which you've got all the way around the van, makes this van usable most of the year round, winter and everything. So I suppose that's what you're going to be paying for. So to sum up, enjoyed using it. The layout's a little bit, options aren't great. You've got to stay in here for your leisure. And if the weather's crap, which it has been for most of the last 4 months, and you can't get outside, you're restricted to that bit of space in there. So I think if we're going to change, we would look for a van that's got a rear lounge. Certainly in this country, where you've got somewhere else to go when the weather's pathetically crap. So, hope you enjoyed the tour of the van. It's a Frankia Yucon. There's not many of them about. I believe SMC Motorhomes in Newark are the only company in the country that actually sell this particular brand. And I think we were the first persons or people to buy this particular one. They do make a lot of 4x4 Yukons at SMC, but they're 130, 140,000 on a Mercedes-Benz chassis. So it's quite a rare camper van. Anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed the tour. And that's goodbye from me then.